wherein they have a lot of assets, F-16s, other assets which they keep getting, training institutes. And we have stuck this airfield. It is not, if you zoom in here, then one impact point here on the runway and second impact point of our weapon, precision weapon on the runway. And if you see this blown up, repairing going on, same here. This is the area we have struck, a deep here. So this is how it looked before, and the same. Chaklala Airfield, Noor Khan, once again, and this is how it looked after our strike. After the strike, the roof of the buildings completely caved in and burnt. Hangar, this is how it looked before, and this is how it looked. Jacobabad, aircraft hangar, and the other side. Our fight was with the terrorists. We neutralized the terrorists by his drones and by his unmanned aerials, other unmanned, and it was proportionate. Thank you.
In the aftermath of the cowardly attacks on innocent tourists, submarines and aviation assets were immediately deployed at sea. Multiple weapon firings in the Arabian Sea within 96 hours of the Arabian Sea in a dissuasive and deterrent posture with full readiness of our choosing. The forward deployment of the Indian Navy defensive posture, mostly inside harbors or very close to the coast. Our response has been measured, proportionate, non-armed, and at sea. As part of this escalation in a synchronized manner, in coordination with the Army and Air Force, an integrated manner. Along with the kinetic actions by the Indian, as we speak, Indian Navy remains deployed at sea in a Director General Military Operations for further proceedings.
Ladies and gentlemen, I received a message on hotline from my counterpart in Pakistan. Subsequent days were in response to the intrusions and violence. You are already aware, I've seen it being covered on national television. Resulted in cessation of cross-border firing and air intrusions. We also decided to further speak on the 12th of May and across the line of control firing, followed by drone intrusions between the DGMOs on the 10th of May, and our first subsequently or later. In this regard, I must inform all of you, security review and has granted full authority to our army and civilians who have tragically lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now open for questions. All right, now Since I would not know all of you, I would expect you to please raise the placard or your hand, and once I indicate, I expect you to please give out your name and the media group that you belong to. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we are in 3 DGMOs. Right. Yeah, 238.
It is in frameworks between the two kind of understandings, 2003 ceasefire agreement. If Pakistan again resorts to this kind of terrorist activities, because thoughts on it?
Okay, so I'll answer the latter part of the question. As you correctly pointed out, is of the 2003 vintage. And the crisis in eastern Ladakh was also on. The two DGMOs had spoken. We had announced the decisions of the CCS in the immediate way. Like I pointed out during my statement, that they and the Pakistan Air Force. This understanding that we spoke about yesterday, aggressive and hostile activities immediately last night, and we've sent a communique. Like I said, the nation. I've already said that the response will be fierce and punitive.
Loss of lives to the Pakistan army. Then how good was the performance of the
Multiple questions, please.
Sir,
All right.
and since, sir, we have achieved
The loss of lives on the other side, of course, there are various means to ascertain that now on Indian Army or the Indian Armed Forces infrastructure, because those were not our targets. Our targets were terror-oriented. Intrusions and air operations on our infrastructure. We've used heavier weapons to, apprise all of you about those.
That we used. Check. Okay. That we used. All right. So we leave it at that. Those are matters. It had the desired effects on the enemy targets. It is for them to count. Our job is to hit the target, not to count the...
Ajit, I'll request you to, refrain putting words into his mouth. Sorry, 47. No, one word. 47. Did I say? Sorry, 147, I saw it there. Sorry. Yeah. Since I've already said.
Patel from Reuters News Agency. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I've been there in total on both sides, if you can give details. Thank you. Armed forces strike in Pakistan in response to the attack from Pakistan. How were these targets selected, and how many troop casualties have been there on both sides?
In the wake of the attack at Pahalgam, right? It's amply clear to everybody here that the Pakistan army has not crossed to try and infiltrate and carry out and perpetrate activity or its special forces and commandos is difficult to say. So therefore, as far as engagements of military targets, and in detail, and he also mentioned as to how in each of these locations, and therefore decided on the vector that had to be
details the targets. Now whether it is X numbers or Y numbers is inflicted, you have seen. What are the casualties on the other side, and that must be realized by all the audience here.
Ishrat from Z. Sir, I wanted to know on the first, you showed a list where there was 21 places in that list. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
And also, I want to congratulate all the question.
unfortunately, Rath, is that your name? I'm sorry. Share those right now, but I think I'll take a cue from Pramod. He is still in a posture that is deterrent, and he's authorized our army commanders to deal with violations. The response will be fierce and it will be punitive.
Good evening, sir. I'm Shailesh from National Defense. Please, it would be deemed fit in case we can reveal that we have taken down their fighter jets. What could be the number? Platforms, but since this has come from various quarters, if you may allow.
The question is for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if I planes were prevented from coming inside our border, all right. So we do not have the right to put a figure at this time, but definitely there are losses.
पूरे ऑपरेशन में जो आतंकी ठिकानों को निशाना बनाया गया, क्या नंबर्स कुछ बता सकते हैं कितने आतंकी मारे गए? कुछ नाम सरकार मतलब कुछ नाम मीडिया में आए भी हैं जो बड़े नंबर अगर आप बता पाएं कितने टेररिस्ट मारे गए?
Sir, before you answer, sir, before you, Manjeet, this thing, so I'll request the first to be answered so that we have more number of people who can ask.
जैसे ही ऑपरेशन सिंदूर कॉन्सेप्चुअलाइज हुआ और उस फ्यूनरल में और कौन कौन लोग अटेंड कर रहे थे वो तो आपने देखा ही, तो आप लोग सब समझदार हैं और मुझे ये कहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि इन लोगों को कहाँ से सपोर्ट मिल रहा है. अगर नहीं मिल रहा होता तो ऑपरेशन सिंदूर नहीं होता, तो उसी की वजह से है ये ऑपरेशन. तो मेरे ख्याल से मैंने आपके सारे सवालों का जवाब दे दिया है.
Ma'am.
सर, मेरा नाम अंजू निर्वाण है, TV9 भारतवर्ष. जो इंडियन नेवी है उसके बारे में सर थोड़ा सा बताएं कि किस तरह की उसकी भूमिका रही. कि कराची तक हमारी नेवी ने ऑपरेशन किया है, तो सर इस पे थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी चाहिए।
तो मैं आपका पहले सवाल का जवाब दूंगा। आई विल मेन क्वालिटेटिव एज टू डिलीवर ए completely dominate in the maritime front. Indian Navy, we have worked out amongst 3 services.
ओके, आपके सवाल का जवाब मैं पहले दे चुका हूं, मैं आपको खुद ही पता चल जाएगा और ऐसी बातें छुपी नहीं रहती हैं, तो पता
they are going to be outside, you can speak to them there also. 104.
The Hindu newspaper.
Are you surprised that you got this question?
No, sir. Rafale, I mean, Pakistan claiming that Rafale has been downed, etc. Can you put that question?
You know, we are in a combat scenario, and to see. As for the details, still in a combat situation, and if I comment, we don't want to give him any advantage at this stage. And all our pilots are back home. Thank you.
जो पहले जो एक्शन रहा वो आतंकवाद के खिलाफ रहा, तो अगला टेरर अटैक किसी भी तरह का होता है तो क्या उसे एक्ट ऑफ वॉर में हमारे
मेरा इसमें सिर्फ एक ही जवाब है। आप हमने उसके बाद मैंने अपने स्टेटमेंट में भी बताया कि लेकिन जो हमारा एडवर्सरी है उसने जैसे नॉर्मल सर्कमस्टांसेस में एक दूसरे देश की सीज फायर वायोलेशंस, आपके एक साथी ने सवाल पूछा था शुरू में, सीज फायर अंडरस्टैंडिंग के जाते जो फायरिंग हो रही है लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल में, उसमें पाकिस्तान आर्मी की टोलियां भी हों जो हमारे पोस्ट के ऊपर खामी पहुंचाने की कोशिश, स्पेक्यूलेटिव जोन में आ जाता है और मैं स्पेक्यूलेट नहीं करना चाहता हूं। हर एक
हम जो मिलिट्री होता, आवर मेन जॉब इज टू प्रिवेंट वॉर एंड मेंटेन। दैट मीन्स अगर किसी ने किया तो उसको ग्रेडेड उसमें किया।